Guys, I have a fun episode of TFL Talking Trucks podcast because we have a special guest in the studio. It's my new friend, Charlie.
Absolutely.
Thank you for coming down.
Glad to be here. Coming down, or it's actually up?
I'm sorry. You're from Texas, so you did come up because you went north.
Home is about 400-foot elevation.
Exactly. And you came up here to Boulder, Colorado, where we're based out of.
Yes.
But you emailed me, what, not even like 10 days ago.
Oh, yeah.
Probably.
I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday of last week. A lot has transpired in the last 7 days.
You're a man of action, I would say.
My wife and I are very much accused, and we accept it and we own up to it, of being spontaneous.
That's amazing. That's cool. But the reason why this is so special is because I get to learn a lot from you because you own your own towing and recovery company.
Yes.
You're based near Houston, right?
About an hour north of downtown.
Yeah. So, and you have a lot of cool toys. You got a lot of cool trucks.
Thank you.
And you brought a couple of cool trucks here to Colorado with you.
Yes.
And that's kind of a separate story because we've done videos off-road with you.
Yeah.
We've done video a drag race with you.
Mm-hmm.
But on this episode, I kind of wanted to hear a little bit of a backstory about how it started and also some wrecker stories.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because I think all of us like to play, in our mind. When I was a little kid, I liked a crane here, pick up a toy and move a toy from here to there.
You have to help keep me on the straight and narrow here, because record drivers tend to like to talk about what they've done. So.
Well, maybe that's why it's a podcast.
There we go.
And also, I want to ask you about your fleet of trucks.
Uh-huh.
Because, TFL Truck, we own our own, several vehicles of our own, but you work your vehicles every single day. So
yes.
I wanted to learn a little bit from you about which trucks you have, how they behave, how they work for you. So, let's start with the backstory really quickly.
Yeah, I started in the record business in 2001. A buddy of mine, I needed a job, and he said, "Hey, why don't you come to work?" I had a CDL. I'd been hauling heavy equipment and just kind of in between jobs being a young man at that point in life. And he said, "Why don't you come get in this truck I got?" I said, "Okay, let's give it a shot." And he had a big Freightliner flatbed that was open and available. Put me in the truck, put me to work, and I have been in the business almost every day since.
You just kind of fell into it and liked it, right?
Yeah, it's something that grew on me really quick. I've really enjoyed it through the years, and I have a hard time sitting in an office. And transitioning into this part of ownership of a business has been a little bit difficult because I spend a lot more time inside in the office than I do out in a truck doing things. But it's nice to see the guys be able to get out and go do their stuff too.
So once you went kind of on your own, what was your first truck?
Yeah, I worked for somebody else for a long time. When I left, I had a huge, great big fancy truck, a 75-ton rotator. And when I left, we had a truck, we called it Whataburger, don't get mad, we called it the Whataburger truck. It was orange and white.
Okay.
And it was a 91 International with an old Home 750 bed on the back of it. And it was just a beast of an old truck. There was nothing new and fancy and shiny about it. I worked on it every single day before I put it to work and after I got done working, and from daylight till dark. And it really paved the way for us to be able to grow and expand. And it was a good truck at the end of the day.
Alrighty. So then we'll get to your fleet coming up soon, but we're looking at the picture here. This is one of your jobs that you participated in. And when I first saw this, I was like, there is no way, because a cement mixer truck, a giant semi, it's probably pretty heavy. How much did this guy weigh?
So this truck be around about 70,000 pounds.
So this cement mixer went through a neighborhood bridge, like a wooden bridge, which it wasn't supposed to cross.
Correct.
And it fell through the bridge.
Yes.
And you were out on this job. So how do you even approach a job like this?
So I worked this job with a friend of mine. It's a company, they're local, called Gabby's Crane. Talked to them and wound up bringing out our rotator to help their crane. And he did most of the heavy lifting on it. You can see in the picture there all the big snatch block with all the lines on it.
And also the vertical line that goes up.
Yes, all the vertical lines.
Yeah.
And it was originally laid back the other way a little bit towards its roof a little bit.
Okay.
We used the wrecker to pull it over and to help lift on it in that picture. And it's one of those, it's a sheer drop-off right there, and the tailboard of the truck was literally planted in the silt and the mud that was underneath the bridge. And this one was a big job. This was definitely a big job.
Because like when we go off-roading, we have small jobs, maybe one of the Jeeps or the Bronco gets stuck, and we use maybe a stretch rope, like a kinetic rope, or maybe we winch something out. But when you get to a job like, oh my gosh, that's a big crane.
Yeah.
When
I
you
think
get
it's 100 or 110 ton.
When you get to a job like this, you need to like figure out where to hook up your lines to, right?
Yes.
You don't want to pull off of a bumper, for example.
You
right?
always need to hook onto something that's solid, for sure.
So tell me a little bit about it, because every job is different, right? Every job you go to.
That's what's kept me in it so long. Keeps my interest up.
Yeah, that's really amazing. Holy cow. They're picking up with a chain?
Yeah, it's a big chain sling. It's huge. It's a lot bigger than it looks. I mean, in the picture, you can see the holes in the chain from here. So
it's a giant chain.
It's a big chain.
Yeah. So, and finally, you guys, I guess your rotator, explain what the rotator tow truck is.
So a rotator tow truck is, everybody calls it a crane. It's really not a crane. It doesn't have counterweights.
It's the red one, right?
The red and white one on the right. Yeah. So you can see on the crane, it's got a bunch of counterweights on it.
Yeah.
And we don't have counterweights on the tow trucks. They're very capable. They'll do a lot of stuff that cranes will do, but it's not quite the same thing. And this thing is made to pick up something out of the ditch, and if it's not drivable, then you hook up to it and take it down the road too. Whereas the crane's not going to do that. The tow truck is designed, the crane is designed for a static lift straight up off the ground.
Yes.
Whereas the tow truck has multiple winches, multiple lines. Like this particular one has 5 winches on it. And it's made to where you can pick something up that's on its side and roll that over and catch it all at the same time. Whereas a crane is just made to lift.
Yeah. So you need to know a lot of geometry and physics. And
it takes experience for sure. You don't just jump. There are people that just jump in and go, but I would really advise against it.
Just assess the situation, right?
Yeah,
approach
absolutely.
it, assess it.
Yeah, and training goes far. There didn't used to be the best training in the world, but there's always been some kind of training. And people that want to be in the business, that want to be professionals, will get the proper training, just as with any industry. Our training isn't maybe as formal as some
Other
professions.
Yeah.
But there is training that's available, and operators should really take advantage of that.
Or maybe you could shadow also somebody, right? You could support another.
Well, and that was how I learned early on was on the job. I was a young man working at a company driving a big truck, and I was doing towing, and the older guys, they told me, "So you can come watch, but you're not going to make any money." Okay, that's fine. And
I need to learn.
Then at some point one day, I was able to stand on my own 2 feet, and I didn't have to call for the help anymore. I was able to do most of those jobs by myself. Not this, but most of those.
Yeah. No, plus you have now employees and other trucks.
Yes.
And
Yes.
you can, if there's a big enough job, you can bring multiple vehicles
Absolutely.
to it, right?
Absolutely.
And you said you had a CDL. So
Yes.
I have a question. We see this, I-70 up here in the mountains. It's a mountain interstate highway. And that's where we do the I-Gauntlet.
Absolutely.
And we see recovery trucks, including the rotator cranes, recovery trucks like this, pulling a fully loaded semi-truck with a trailer, just towing them down the road.
Just dragging it or pulling it.
Just rolling on the road, like just hooked up. I mean, it was recovered, and now it needs
pick
to
up
be
the front and go up the highway.
Pick up the front axle and just go down the highway. Right. But that truck and trailer supposedly weigh about 80,000.
The tractor trailer, yes.
Yeah, both combination.
Yes.
But then, so is the rotator crane truck? What is its capacity really? Because being in the mountains and pulling such a heavy load, it's probably a big deal.
All these heavy duty, all tow trucks, period, should have a tag on them, a capacity tag. It'll tell you how big the winch is, how much the boom capacity is, and the lift capacity and the tow capacity. So most of the heavy duties that are out there, Usually a 35-ton truck and most of them are all 80,000-pound tow capacity.
So it's meant specifically for that job.
That's exactly
to
what it's
recover a
meant to do.
semi-trailer,
Yes.
basically.
It's
Yeah.
meant to pick that up and go down the road with it. Absolutely.
Yeah, because it looks pretty impressive. Because
Yeah.
the semi-truck by itself is impressive.
Well, and you have to keep in mind, too, that the rotators, that depends on what size they are. They might be anywhere from 60 to 90,000 pounds themselves.
By
depending upon-
themselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Before it ever gets loaded with anything else behind it. Just the truck, the way it sits. The two that I have today, I think one weighs about 72 and one weighs, I think, right at 69, 70,000.
Yeah, so they're big boys by themselves.
Yes.
Cole, maybe you can pull up a couple more images. We can go to the gallery. Oh, there's another image in kind of a top left, I guess.
Yeah, that we don't have that truck anymore, but that's after a rolled over truck.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes,
But
right
going down like I-70 like
Right,
this,
yeah.
that's a big deal.
Yes, yes. So and you don't just grab it and go. So we actually run brakes to the trailer.
Okay, so airlines.
Yes, we run airlines. So
Okay.
the tow truck, it'll have two airlines. Usually everybody swaps it over from glad hands to quick connects because it's easier for the industry. And you hook up your quick connects and run your line back there to a glad hand and hook up to the brakes on the trailer.
Gotcha. Because
And that's a safety thing.
you
should
need
always
you
do
need
that.
assistance. I mean, like you said, the tow truck may be 70,000 by itself. You're pulling another 80,000.
You're
need
140, 150,000 pounds.
You need stopping power.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's a lot of weight.
Absolutely. For
All
sure.
right. So before we do a little bit more record stories, how about tell me like about your fleet a little bit? Like
So
right
currently we have, let's see, we have 2 rotators, 3 flatbeds. We have the 550, and we just bought a medium duty truck.
now. Okay. Well, tell me about. Well, you also have the off-road recovery truck that you brought
Yes.
over here.
Yes.
Tell me about the 550. Is there? Let's go there first,
have
Cole.
8 trucks total.
There's like the black one, right?
Yes, the black 550.
It's up
There was the
here
one that had the
somewhere.
gooseneck trailer on it a while ago.
Oh, here's
That's
one.
a picture of it at the tow show.
Okay. So first of all, why Ford? Why a 550? Why
I
Ford?
grew up in a Ford family, and my dad always had Ford trucks. We had Ford Mustangs. We were just a Ford family. Mom drove a Ford Bronco. That was just who we were. We grew up, all in a Ford family, and it has stuck with me. And that's what I've driven a lot of other things, and not to beat up on the other ones. I just prefer these.
Sweet.
I've always had good luck, especially the late model stuff. Like that truck right there it's a 22 model. That truck today has about 50,000 miles on it. That truck, I built it and bought for me to help out when the other guys were busy. Somebody else drives that truck today, a driver named John. But that truck is a very capable truck. You could see that it's actually got knobby tires on it. It's 4-wheel drive. I built a gooseneck hitch that added onto the back of it. Run all synthetic rope. All of our tow trucks run synthetic rope. And it's just a very, very capable, good truck.
Well, tell me about this contraption. There's some other images. You're carrying a container, basically
Yeah.
like a shipping container.
So
What's going on here?
that's a good picture right there. So I am very much of the mindset that I would rather have fewer trucks that do a lot of things versus a lot of trucks that do specialized things. I want to have each and every truck maximize the profit that truck can make as much as possible. In the South, we call it squeezing blood out of a turnip. We want to do that as much as we possibly can for each truck. So if I could have 6 or 8 or 10 or 12 trucks versus 30 or 35, then I can be more profitable because my insurance is cheaper, my truck notes are cheaper, I have fewer drivers, and then that also benefits the drivers on top of that because then the drivers have more capability with the one single truck.
And they
don't have
can
to
make
get
money
in
too.
something and out something into something else and switching trucks, and then they learn a lot more and they can do a lot more, and it helps them on payday to help provide for their families as well. And this deal here, I had designed. It's kind of hard to see, but those are a set of Collins dollies in the back that people are going to say, oh, that's overcapacity. It's not. I actually towed that 220 plus miles from our house to the Texas Tow Show this year, and everything went flawlessly. I've had a back injury. I haven't finished my stuff lately, but this setup did really, really well. And it's just one more tool in the box to be able to use a truck like that to do more things it doesn't typically do every day.
So what are you thinking? Like if there's a semi truck and it's got a container on it and it fell off, let's say on the side,
No.
you
so
could provide.
typically, that's going to be a loaded container.
Okay.
So this is for only for empty ones.
Okay.
I designed this to do 20s and 40s. We are working on this system and another system similar to be able to do this. This worked really well. It's very simple. It's just so a lot of people will have a set of these dollies on their truck, and then the piece that's on top of the dolly, it's black. It's between the dolly and the container itself. It has attachments on it to lock that in there, and it sits on the dolly. And
So you can
those
deliver
just
one of
be-
those anywhere you want.
You could be in the truck, pull these pieces out of the toolbox, throw the dollies together, hook this thing up, and go down the road with stuff that you have on the truck every day. Instead of going back to the office, getting in an 18-wheeler that's got a big trailer, one of the sliding axle trailers, and having to go haul something like this or putting it on a rollback, whatever. This truck can haul these just as easily as a rollback can. Maybe not as fast because you just pull it up on the bed and go down the road, but it's just as capable to go down the road as any of those are. Versatility.
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
All about versatility. Yes.
So you said 50,000 miles on the Ford. So
Yes.
you've had pretty good luck with all the Power Stroke.
So this one's
engines.
50,000 miles, and I'm probably going to jinx myself because I'm sitting here on camera today. I don't know if there's
Is
any
there- is
wood
there-
anywhere.
I think this is
There's
fake
not
wood.
here. We'll go with that.
I'm not sure.
So that truck has had zero chassis problem.
Okay, now we really have to knock. Okay.
So I also have an F650. So this has the Power Stroke and a 10-speed in it.
Okay.
I have a 2023 F650.
What does it look like?
It's white.
It's white.
With a black flatbed. It may not be a picture of it anywhere close
All right.
here.
Can you just Google F650 really quick? This is a bigger medium duty chassis, basically.
It is. It's on 19.5 tires just like this, but it has a 26,000 pound GVW. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay.
It has a 26,000 pound GVW on the chassis. And that truck is a gas truck.
Like
It has-
this. Something
yes,
like this.
Mine's a regular cab.
Yeah, yeah.
Low pro, just like this truck. Very similar to that chassis there.
And it's a gasser.
It's a gasser.
Okay.
And I wasn't sure about it. I bought it. So being a Ford fan, I wanted the Ford chassis, but the Ford chassis, since COVID has come and messed things up for a while, the Ford chassis, the bigger ones, are much harder to get a hold of to get exactly what you want. So I needed a truck. I needed to upgrade from a truck. They call it a self-loader. It looks like you see the repo trucks. It was that style of truck. And so I needed something with a little more capability than that. So we upgraded to a F650 flatbed. And I was worried with being the gasser, but it has really been a good truck. That truck as well. I think that truck has about 80,000 miles on it now. And that truck has been a zero-issue truck as well.
So that's a lot. Well, it's a good amount of miles.
Yes.
You said in 2023.
A 23 model.
Yeah. So that's a decent usage.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's been used quite a bit. And it has plenty of time that it sits around too, just like any other tow truck. But it's not a race truck. You're not going to break any land speed records in it. It's not quick. It's not fast on the top end, but it's a go out, get the job done, light duty tow truck.
Nice. And okay, now let's bring up once again on your page the off-road recovery, the red truck.
Yeah.
For example, what's going on here? There's your F350 stuck sideways.
Yeah, so I was going out to rescue these guys in a Jeep. They were having a hard time finding somebody to come get them, and they were down in Spring. And I went down. I answered the phone, and absolutely, we'll come out, no problem, come get you. And they dropped me a pin where they were at, and looked at the satellite images on the maps and saw where they were at. No problem. And I get out there, and I was walking a fine line down the dirt trail there, and somebody else I don't know if it was a skidder that come out, because you can see the ruts on the other side too.
Really
That have water in them.
big ruts.
Something came out and made some ridiculously massive ruts at some point. And I got a little bit too close to that one, and the whole truck slid over a little bit. And the picture looks terrible. I shared the picture obviously on Facebook, and you can see actually in the comments I posted more pictures. it says 5 minutes later, I had the truck out.
So
the
you
truck
have
has a 12,000-pound winch on the front.
in the front. So you're
Yeah,
trying to help
self-recovery.
yourself out as
Yeah,
well.
I just left the other winches in neutral and self-recovered up out of the hole. I backed up a little. So you see, I was
Yeah.
a little too close, slid off in the hole that he was in, and I was able to pull myself out and pull him
But
out.
by the way, it's really hard to see scale on some of these images.
Yes.
Because your F350, you were kind of having, I want to say, a little bit more fun with this build, right? Your truck, your F350 has a 6-inch lift, and it's
Yes.
on 42s.
Yes. So that's a picture I took when that's at our house
Coming out here?
the day we left to come here.
Sweet.
That was on Sunday morning when we were leaving the house. That's the what it looked like when we were leaving.
So tell me a little bit about this F350.
Okay.
Yeah. Because you also wanted to go to the off-road games, right?
Yeah, we did go to the Matt's Off-Road Games,
Okay.
not this year, but last year
The previous year.
in Sand Hollow. It was a blast. There's a bunch of pictures on here of that as well. There
And
we
that's
go.
what I'm talking about, scale, right? Because when you see a vehicle by itself, it doesn't look
Yeah, there's a picture.
special.
Yeah, that's next to Matt's truck there.
Yeah, there you go.
And it just makes my truck look so small.
It's the
I-
tire. It's the tire,
The
right?
tires on that truck are massive. And see, it's not much taller. It's not much taller than my truck is, top to top of the truck.
Uh-huh.
But overall, that thing is just massive. Matt's got a really impressive, very capable truck. It's not as roadworthy as ours is, but
no.
it's a very capable truck by far.
Yeah, can you click through more images? Yeah, just so we can see a little bit more. Just
Yeah,
this
there's
truck
Murphy's Diesel. That's
next to other
that's
trucks.
HB. That's Wrecker Rick up there with his truck. There he is standing on top. That's my father-in-law in the front.
I
And
gotcha.
we had a little sand hollow sand all over the truck there.
Oh yeah, totally.
We had just got stuck, and that's a good picture. Give you an idea. That's a 6x10 American flag. And the view of it kind of makes it dwarf the truck a little bit, but the angle, everything.
Yeah,
is-
because I have a Tundra, right?
Uh-huh.
And I put it on 34s, and it looks okay. And then I parked my Tundra next to your F350, and then my Tundra looks tiny, right?
yes.
So it's everything. Oh, there's a tiny Cybertruck next to you. Look at that.
Look how cute it is.
A little tiny one. So yeah. But by the way, you said roadworthy, right? So your F350 with a 6-inch lift on 42s.
Yes.
You pulled a trailer 1,000 miles to come here.
A little over 1,000 miles.
Yeah. So this is a usable vehicle you could use for many different
Absolutely.
purposes.
Traditionally, we don't drive it this far.
Yeah.
But I gotta, you get to hear the naysayers.
Spontaneous.
Yeah, you get to hearing the naysayers, and then you and I were emailing, and I told my wife, I said, you know what? I said, let's go to Colorado. And she said, well, what are we driving? I said, well, you're probably not going to like the non-air conditioned seats and stuff, but it's a good, comfy ride, I promise. She's like, what are you talking about? I said, well, we're taking the red one. She's like, really? Yes, that's the one we're taking. So, and
Well, I
it did
appreciate it,
fantastic.
yes.
Before we got up here to the mountains in the flatter parts of Texas, I mean, the truck did really well at 10 miles, a little over 10 miles a gallon. And we were weighing a scale ticket. I had it weighed. It was a little over 16,000 pounds.
With the trailer.
With
yeah.
the trailer loaded, full of fuel, everything was a little over 16,000 pounds.
Yeah.
And that's at Buc-ee's in Amarillo.
Yeah, and you can see how tall, how upright this truck
Yes.
is, right? You got a
Yeah.
big kind of, I was going to say
'cause
cow
this is-
pusher on
so
it,
this
but
is
it's
me
like a brush
standing in
guard.
front of it. You can't see me, but I'm 5'9", and that's me holding a phone in front of my face at eye level to take a picture of it.
You're basically looking at the top of the hood, basically.
Yeah.
Kind
So
of.
there's did you know there's stickers on top of the hood?
No.
There's stickers on top of the hood that say stuff. That's how tall the truck is.
Yeah, you can
And you're
almost
how
not.
tall?
I'm 6'3" almost.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that's a tall truck. That's a tall truck.
It is very tall.
So let's see. Can you go back to the gallery a little bit more? What are some of the other stories? Do you have another one at least?
Yeah, let's scroll through here. Let's see.
What's going on with that space shuttle? Are you towing a space shuttle right
So that's
there?
one of my guys. That's his name is Chris. Known Chris for a long, long time. And when he came to work for us, that was the rotator we bought for me that I ran myself. And Chris come along and put him in that truck. And This is the sort of thing that Chris does a lot of. He hauls a lot of these concrete pump trucks. And these pump trucks are 100, 120, 130,000 pounds.
Those are big boys.
Those are big, yeah. And this one just happened to be with a crate backdrop, with the shuttle on top of the 747 down by NASA on the south side of Houston.
I gotcha. So you're not towing the shuttle. It's just in the background.
It's just in the background. It was just posing for
But you could tow a shuttle.
Well, the Tundra did. If the Tundra did, we could sure do it. I believe it in my heart.
Yes. You told me you towed a plane once, though.
I did. I towed that was years ago when I worked for somebody else.
Okay.
But I towed it was a Gulfstream G6, I believe, at an airport in Houston.
Did it go off-roading in the plane or
plane,
something?
They thought they wanted to until they did, and it was a really bad experience for them.
They went off the runway, I guess.
They went off the taxiway trying to make a U-turn at the end of the runway, and when that wheel hit the grass, they made it about 10 or 15 feet into the grass before they found the soft spot, and the landing gear on that side just went out of sight. And
So you had to help out and kind of move it back.
Yep, they had a company that specializes in aircraft recovery, which oddly enough, we don't share pictures on social media of this, but we actually do aircraft recovery as well. Our guys were out just yesterday doing an aircraft recovery in Houston.
Like just near the airport? At the airport?
Yeah, it's a small airport. I'm not talking, George Bush, Houston International
commercial
Airport.
jets.
Yeah, they're not out picking up 747s.
No.
But small aircraft at smaller country airports, stuff like even small Learjets and stuff like that. We'll go recover those as well. We've done numerous of them. I've done a lot in 20 plus years, and we still do them today as a little small company in Texas.
All right. Do you want to see some more images? Check it out. Let's see. Oh, tell me about the Bronco. You also have a Bronco, right? But that's not for work.
No,
that's for
not
fun,
so much.
Right?
Yeah, that's more for just for me. My dad had a '69 Bronco, and it's a little further down. It's a blue Bronco right there on the right, and that's me out playing and talking on the phone at the same time. Two things you should not do together. And my wife had a Bronco at the same time. She had a 22 model Wild Track 4-door. Fantastic machines, absolutely great trucks. And she was out in town one day, had one of our grandkids with her and one of our daughters. And I was talking on the phone to somebody about something at work, and I come up this big sand hill, and I had made it, 6 times before that. And I was doing it one more time. It's a pretty good incline. It's hard to tell in a picture. And I got to the top, and the truck was moving nice and easy. I said, I got it whooped from here. And I gave it more gas, and the bottom fell out, and that was it.
Boom, and you sank.
I said, honey, are you still in town? And I said, here, I'm going to send you a pin. I need some help. So my wife had to come rescue me.
So it was a Bronco rescue.
It was a Bronco on Bronco rescue. And she's actually brought out that black F-550 before to come rescue me when I was in the off-road truck, the red one, because I was stuck in somebody's backyard, and the bottom just fell out of one side just as fast as you could drive into it. Just grass. You couldn't tell that there was something that was there, a hole. And the bottom fell out of one side, and the poor old truck was leaning, and I was rather displeased, and Mama came to the rescue again.
There you go. That's why you own a towing company. Yeah.
That's why we help each other when we need to.
Oh, there's a trailer you're pulling too. It's like a fifth wheel or something?
Yeah, so that's so I was saying that I had built a gooseneck attachment for the back of that truck. There's another good picture of that too. And that's towing a fifth wheel travel trailer with an adapter, one of those cone looking adapters that goes to the fifth wheel to a gooseneck ball. And like I said, I like versatility.
So when you pick up a call, it could be a motorcycle, it could be a trailer,
right.
Could be an airplane.
And this little truck has the bed has a 20,000 pound tow rating. So we haul U-Hauls and small box trucks, shuttle buses, shuttle vans, all sorts of things with this little truck. And it's just a really good, that's the benefit to it. It gets around tight spaces easy. It's really small. It's 4-wheel drive. It's not like the red truck, of course, as far as capability, but some of the slick dirt roads, the sloppy places that we need to go to pick up a car and to tow it out, it's very good at that sort of thing.
Yeah, when we test pickup trucks here in Colorado, we usually get four-wheel drive trucks, right? On loan or the ones we purchase, obviously. And I remember somebody was asking me, like we were testing dualies, right? With big gooseneck trailers on top of them, doing a shootout on the iGauntlet. And somebody was asking, why get a four-wheel drive dually? It was like, you're on the road, right? You're hauling stuff from here to there, from one city to another city. Why four-wheel drive? And I'm like, it's that one day that you need you're in a dirt lot, you're in a gravel lot, something happens. It's that one time that you need it.
So, real quick story about that, about self-recovery. First brand new truck I ever bought was a 2014 F-150 regular cab short bed. Looks a lot like the other one. Coyote motor, 6-speed. Fantastic truck. I absolutely love it to this day. Still have it. And I parked in grass where I parked my tow truck at the time. I parked in some grass behind it. A little shower came through that day. Wasn't even a lot of rain. It was just a shower. And I had to use the wrecker to pull myself out because that poor truck, that one day, I could have used the four-wheel drive that I didn't have.
And you didn't have it, yeah.
Because the truck just wasn't designed to be there. I mean, it was just wet grass with slippery clay stuff underneath it. And that's why they're four-wheel drive. This truck, four-wheel drive, very rarely ever gets turned on. But sometimes.
But versatility, right?
Yes, versatility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If I can just go down, a sloppy dirt road with this versus having to call out that other truck, then the driver that's driving this truck doesn't have to call me and say, "Hey, I need you to come do this for me. I can't get it myself." That truck now has the capability to go do that by itself.
Yeah, very important. I mean, you're making that investment, right? You're paying more for that four-wheel drive system up front. Yes. Maybe you upgraded your tires, like you said before,
did, yes.
right? But it's an investment that really pays back.
It is.
In the long run.
Yeah, and most of the miles on those tires that I put on, I paid pretty penny for them because it's hard to find off-road worthy 19.5
heavy duty
commercial
too.
grade tires.
Yeah.
And I found some, and I said, I'm going to tell my wife, I said, I'm buying these for this truck and these tires. We're doing it. I'm making it happen. Spent the extra money on them, and they go down the road. Sounds like an old four-wheel drive with bi-split tires down the road. But it's fantastic. They do a great job. They won't last as long as these kind of tires do that are in that picture. But when you need it because those right there are good on the street and nowhere else. You get into that gumbo kind of stuff we have at home, or the slick clay that they put down on this base on roads, and
we have some of that too. Yeah,
that thing will be sliding all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
Even as a four-wheel drive, it'll be sliding all over the place. And now with the upgrade on the tires, the truck can go out on its own and do those kind of jobs.
That's good. So I want to focus on Ford more than the big semi trucks because we're more focused a little bit on the pickup truck world. So I want to hear a little bit about maybe some feedback from you about the Ford trucks, something you want to improve. I also want to talk about powertrains, right? Mm-hmm. Electric versus diesel versus hybrid.
I've owned all.
Where do you want to start? Do you want to start feedback or powertrains?
Whatever.
Well, let's talk about powertrains.
Okay.
Electric, diesel. You said you've owned them all. Can you?
I've owned a Ford Lightning. Which is a great soccer mom car, but that's about all it's good for.
You called it a car?
I did. I did because it's just Ford. I'm sorry. I'm a Ford guy. Don't beat me up.
Okay.
But it's just not a very good truck. To me, a truck needs to be able to pull trailers. Now, does the Lightning pull the trailer well? Absolutely. From here, about 50 miles down the road. And then you better find a place to charge it, because that's all you're going to get out of it.
So which one did you have? Can you explain that?
I had a 2020, I think it was a 22 model.
That's when they came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was a 22 model or an early 23. And it was a standard range Lariat. Couldn't find an extended range at the time.
Interesting.
They were all platinum, fancy, top of the line.
That's too much. There's 22-inch wheels on them.
Yeah, and that was the platinum extended range was almost $100,000.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm not doing that. I said, but I'm interested in this other truck. And I went into it watching some of y'all's stuff with the truck you had, knowing kind of what the capability was going to be.
Well, we had an extended range also,
yes,
the one we had.
I think that part of the problem was the way that I was thinking about it. I mean, I knew it wasn't going to be the same as having, like the trimmer that you guys have.
Yes.
Which I've had one of those too. And I knew it wasn't going to be like that. But I thought that it would be better on range, even being the standard range, because we hooked a trailer up to it full charge, should have been 230 miles. As soon as you plug in a trailer, you lost half of the range right off
Well,
the
that's
bat.
what the computer estimates.
The computer estimated, boom, half of it's gone.
Okay.
And this was a 6,000-pound trailer with a V-nose, and I think it was 8 foot tall. So it's kind of tall, but it has a V-nose. It's not
not a
kind of
camper.
skinny. No, it's not a great big travel trailer with a flat nose on it. And I have another box trailer that's 8 foot wide and 24 foot long. It's not that kind of box trailer. And it weighed 6,600 pounds. We went about 5 or 6 miles. It was a beautiful day outside, in the 60s outside, temperature-wise. Not a cloud in the sky. And it said, ding, reduced range due to external temperature. And I thought maybe I should turn around now because it reduced the range to 73 miles.
And you were trying to reach a job or something?
No, my wife and I,
or you were testing it?
We do. Every truck that we get, if I own it, it's going to work, except for the little black truck. That truck only holds one thing.
ASS?
That's exactly right.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's all that truck holds.
I was trying to figure that out. We're talking about your supercharged truck, which is
that's a whole nother world.
Which is a drag racing truck.
Yes.
Which we have a video.
That's a leisurely drive truck.
That's a different video. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you wanted to test this Lightning, basically.
Yes, because if I'm going to own it, I need to know before something happens what the truck is capable of. Before my guys are in a pinch and I need to take something to them, there's a wreck somewhere and I need to take that trailer to them, I need to know that I can get that trailer to them and get it back. Because we're not just in the middle of the city sitting in downtown Houston. We're on an hour north of downtown. It's kind of a rural area. There's plenty of city around us too, but we cover a lot of territory for a small company. And I need to be able to get the tools that the guys need to them. Whether that tool is in the middle of summer, an ice chest with a bag of ice and some water in it, or if it's a trailer with extra supplies in it, or a skid steer, which we own a skid steer too.
Just to collect wreckage or something.
Like if there's an 18-wheeler wreck, we scoop up cargo or truck parts or whatever it is. And we have that was our first off-road recovery unit was a skid steer. We bought a winch box for the front. And there's some pictures of that on here too. It has a 20,000-pound winch in this thing. It's got a big blade on it. And that was our first foray into off-road recovery was that thing.
Gotcha.
But if I own it, it's going to work one way or another.
So for your purpose, standard range, let's explain that. It's a smaller battery truck.
Yes.
Right. So for your purposes, it didn't work.
It had plenty of power to pull the trailer. It just...
Not long enough.
I did not keep it very long because I just couldn't pull with it what I needed and wanted to do.
Okay, that's fair. How about, so we talked about diesel trucks already. We talked about the gasser, the 650 you had, which both of them work great for you. Any hybrids? Have you experienced any of the F-150 hybrids yet?
No, I have not. We've owned a car that was a hybrid, a Ford-based car.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. We still own it today. It's a great car, but we have not had any hybrid trucks. With that said, I am not against the hybrids. I think the hybrids are great. If I could have that black 550 that's a Super Duty, if I could have that truck or that 650 that was a hybrid version of that, and save anywhere 10 or 20% in fuel, because most tow trucks, most of our stuff is in town, short trips. We do plenty of rural driving too. We do some out of town driving. Obviously, we're here, but we do plenty of that kind of work too. And most of the driving, though, is in town, red light to red light, stop and go.
And that's really where the hybrid shines.
That's their wheelhouse. That's where they're at their best. And if I could have that capability, plus the addition like your hybrid you had the onboard power and all that, if you could combine all that together, that's fantastic in a commercial application. But you don't see it yet. I would start making orders today to replace trucks if I could get Ford.
Ford, are you listening?
Mr. Farley?
If you're listening to us, we're looking directly into the camera.
We're looking into your eyes.
No, let me expand really quickly on this. So I was really interested about hybrid technology too. So, and we test trucks for a living here. So I ordered the F-150 hybrid as soon as it came out, right? So I wanted to be one of the first ones, as we always are. And I don't know if I was the first one, but I got it fairly early. F-150 hybrid, power boost, they call it. I got the 7.2 kilowatt, onboard power unit, which also has 240 volt outlet. My buddy David, we welded off of that truck, right? Which I'm imagining you may need to, off-road recovery.
So think about it. If that off-road truck of mine, that big red 350, if that was a hybrid capable truck that had the opportunity to have that onboard, well, they make off-road welding machine stuff, but if it had that hybrid technology built into that truck, then that simplifies things on repairs and capability to be able to go do things.
Well, your F-350 off-road recovery truck has a hydraulic crane in the bed. And the hydraulic pump is using the PTO, right?
It's a clutch pump on the front of the engine, yes.
Oh,
Works kind of like an air conditioning compressor.
Oh, really?
When you hit the switch, the toggle switch is on the roof, and you hit that switch, it's like a compressor. It's that style.
Okay.
It has that kind of a clutch.
So it's not taking
in.
power off the transmission. It's taking power off of the engine in the front.
That's correct. Whereas that 650 that I have, that has a PTO on the transmission.
And that's how you run the hydraulics on the flatbed or whatever you have. But if you had 7.2 kilowatt, that's actually a lot of energy.
That's a lot of juice.
You could run, many different things. Maybe you could even charge an electric car that's stuck on the side of the road.
Absolutely.
How about that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because it happens. Obviously, it happens a lot.
Yeah, that's very interesting. So, I was quite happy with the F-150 hybrid I owned. I didn't have any issues with it in about 22,000 miles as long as I kept it. And I've been thinking about this a long time. Actually, I think I did a story on TFLtruck.com thinking about hybrid heavy-duty pickup trucks because it made a lot of sense to me, and I'm glad that you are agreeing with me.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. Even if you don't get the ability right away to use, because the power, the onboard power would be great for a mechanic or a road service technician, or even if it's the plumber or the carpenter that might need that power in that heavier application.
Yeah.
The hybrid part of it, the stop and go traffic for our industry would be fantastic. Just that one thing alone.
Forget about export power.
Yeah, forget about that part of it. If I could just have the hybrid capability and because hybrids have been around long enough now, the technology has come a long ways. Whereas full electric is still kind of limited in a lot of ways. But the hybrid stuff has gone really well, and the capabilities of it are great.
Yeah.
You can still take the truck on a long road trip, and never have a problem. You could have taken that EcoBoost of yours anywhere you wanted to go.
I think it had the range of 700 miles.
Right.
I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
I could go forever in it. Yeah. So that is quite interesting. Yeah. And I mean, electric truck can work for a plumber. Maybe they make short trips, right?
Absolutely.
Maybe they're not towing anything, right? Yeah. It can work for many different...
And they may care less about the hybrid fuel savings and more about the onboard power for certain applications.
Yeah.
That might be just the biggest part of the benefit to them is the onboard power in that heavier application. I don't want to call it heavy duty because that's tow truck. That big truck's a heavy duty to us, but in the heavier application stuff, the 550s and 650s, stuff like that range of truck.
Gotcha. All right, we're almost done on this episode, but I wanted to get maybe a couple of, or maybe 3 quick tips from you. Like if somebody wants to recover, let's say your body is stuck, you're off-roading, quick tips, like you were saying, using a winch safely. I mean, but can you kind of describe a couple of helper tips?
Yeah, so one of the biggest things that I try to make sure everybody learns is you always want to hook to something solid. Be careful what you hook to. We've seen a thing here online recently. It went all over the internet, went viral. Somebody lost their life because, my opinion, it was poor technique in the way a truck was recovered. You never want to hook to a receiver hitch. I mean, if you're pulling something across a parking lot that's not buried, then whatever, okay? But if something is stuck in a hole where you're having to work on this, you're having to put some of that kinetic force together, don't ever, ever, ever hook to one of those drop hitches that's on the back. They make hitches for the receiver, what do you call it? The
shackles or
the
anything,
shackle,
yeah.
Whether you put a soft shackle on it or it has a screw pin shackle that's there. There are applications, there are things that are made to do that job. Get the right tools to do the job. Get the right tools to do the job safely. Because the number one thing is to make sure everybody goes home.
And like you said, I think maybe you didn't say it, but we talked about this. Don't hurry, right? The instinct is the cement truck is in the river. I gotta hurry.
Right.
I gotta get it out.
So what you see a lot of times, and you'll see this in countless YouTube fail videos, is that the adrenaline gets going, and we're men, right? I got this.
I can lift it myself.
I can do that by my man. It doesn't always have to be that way.
Yeah.
It doesn't. We have less to prove. Get it done right the first time, and let's all go home.
Nice.
Without injury.
And also learn geometry, please.
and math. Math makes a big difference. So here's the other thing. People think, okay, I have a 12,000-pound electric winch on my truck. I can pull 12,000 pounds.
Uh-huh.
Wrong.
What?
Wrong.
Can you explain?
That's just the strength of the winch.
Okay.
The limiting factor, that winch is only as strong as the weakest point between the two vehicles or whatever it is you're pulling. So you have to look at what each piece is rated at. Find out what your winch line is rated at, whether it's synthetic rope or wire rope. Find out what it's rated at. Find out what your attachments are rated at. If you have a strap, find out what it's rated at. If you use a soft shackle or a real shackle, don't buy the cheap junk that you find on the internet everywhere, without calling out anybody particular. Don't buy the cheapest junk you can find, because it's just that. It's the cheapest, crappiest junk you can find, and that's the stuff that fails first. If you're going to go do this kind of job, whether you're a volunteer, and there's plenty of Facebook pages stuff that go and help people, buy decent stuff and learn how to use it properly so that nobody gets hurt and you don't have that on your conscience.
Exactly. That's really important, because the older I'm getting, safety and kind of a measured approach becomes more and more important
and
to
look,
me.
We're the same age. We talked about this yesterday.
Yes.
And I don't heal as fast as I used to. That's the honest to goodness truth.
Me neither.
So if I can try not to get hurt, then I don't have to take quite as long to heal. And that's important.
You could be more productive that way.
I could be more productive that way.
Yeah.
Because if I'm limping around for a reason, at this point in life, I'm limping around a little longer than I used to.
Exactly. All right. Well, on that note, we'll close this podcast for this. Thanks for coming out.
Absolutely, sir.
I know it wasn't
Appreciate
an easy
you
thing
hosting
for
us.
you to do. I mean, you went a long way. You came up. You didn't come down.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, we'll make the trip back down home.
Yes.
Here.
It's all downhill from here, really.
It's all downhill.
So-
Maybe I'll get even better fuel mileage on the way home.
Exactly. Hey, maybe 12?
Maybe.
Hey.
I'll let you know.
Hey, there you go. So thanks. And we have more videos coming out. So we did an off-road video together.
Yes.
Here in Colorado. We did a drag race together once again. So stay tuned for that, because we had a lot of fun, and it's all coming up very soon.
Sounds great. Can't wait for it.
Thanks.